I'm vaxxed, I'm jabbed, I've got my 2 shots. That's what I keep hearing. And for tears of joy, release is what's going on for these people. And I comprehend that, and I have empathy for them, because if they've been living in this box of fear and have been missing their family and their friends, and they've never hugged anybody, you know, in that sense, it is, and they believe wholeheartedly, right? They believe that the vaccine is going to give them life again. It's going to give them connection again. And so it makes perfect sense to me that they're tears of joy, because they've been living in like a cell, but the cell, in a sense, truly has been in their mind of their own beliefs. And why I say that is because I remember when I spent about 5 years of my life looking for what was wrong with me, right? Going to the doctor consistently because there was a ongoing disorder in my body. I had multiple things that were going on, and nothing that the doctor was ever doing or saying was working. And finally, when they, you know, literally I had to yell at the doctor to say, like, no, I don't have epilepsy, and you're not giving me drugs that make me sleepy. Like, sleep is something that is controlling my life, right? It's making me feel powerless at this stuff that's going on. And I was sent to a sleep lab, and they were like, wow, the guy was like, you're the fastest person I've ever seen fall asleep. Like, I was falling asleep as he's putting electrodes on my head. And so when I got the diagnosis, right? When I got the diagnosis and I was going to get medication, like I was 18, I was like, wow, things that I used to do, devour books, you know, I could read a whole book, you know, I couldn't do anymore. I could only read a few pages, maybe like literally 2 or 3, and then poof. And so I was like, wow, I have life again. So I recognize that these people that have been feeling like they've missed out on life in the past 15 months because of their belief in what their consensus reality is, was very much like I was like, oh yeah, give me the drugs, give me my medication, I'm free again. And in the beginning, that's what it was like. It was like, wow, okay, I'm alert, I'm awake, and over the course of a couple of years, well, even the first year, I started to realize I was a little controlled. But that was one of this. That was like the what do you call it when you have to give something up? The compromise, right? The compromise is when other people were having Christmas vacation, right, or March break at university and going somewhere, I was literally having to go off my medication because I'd built up so much tolerance to it. It wasn't working so well. And you just can't keep upping the dose because it has an effect on the inner organs in your body, etc. Because I'm not a car. You know, I am a multiple dimensional, you know, soulful, unified, energetic, you know, experience. So in that respect, it was just the sense of you're putting in all this drugs in your body. It's eventually building up, and my organs and things were needing to be cleansed. So I would detox, and if in detox meant that literally I could sleep like the whole week. And so in that respect, over the course of years, and I would be checking in with the doctor consistently, I would find that they didn't really have a lot of answers. It was almost like they were pulling in my story, their story to make up the diagnosis of what was going on. They're looking for similarities, and they're bridging, you know, they're creating more of this situation. So fortunately for me, I came across mind-body medicine as I was starting to feel really disgruntled. But this is after, you know, like 7 years. You know, it's like little by little by little, in my right time, I was getting tired of being controlled by popping meds. I wasn't supposed to have, you know, I was told I couldn't have any children. You know, I was going to be on this for the rest of my life. And there was just something gnawing inside of me that said, this isn't what life is supposed to be about. I'm supposed to be free to enjoy my life healthily, in health. And so long story short, eventually, I was only on that stuff for 10 years. And then I started on the mind-body journey. Now, in the mind-body journey, there's this whole other realm of conversation and consensus reality. What we eat, what we think about has an impact. And it's very much then responsibility starts here. And so that can have some empowering and disempowering experiences for people when they start to get that. Because it's like, ooh, if health depends on me and I'm unhealthy, what does that say about me? And sometimes pointing a finger at yourself is very, very hard to do and to look at and to see my flaws and my issues and my judgments and my shame and my guilt and my trepidations and my fears, right? Very few people like to look at myself, right? They like to look at other people. They love to judge other people because judging other people is so much easier than sitting and looking in the mirror and saying, I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me, right? Thank you. Said it wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, right? I love you. I think that's the Ho'oponopono prayer. And the idea is, when we're looking out at other people, they are a reflection of yourselves when you recognize that. But if you're not in that state of mind, you're still looking externally out there and you're going, no, that's all wrong. So this is why I'm out here today, to make sure you see the lovely water in the background, because all of this, in the sense of what everyone experiences, is our experience. Yet it's been 12 years now that I've been talking about spiritual healing and healing that can just happen like that. And I have had many times, like we have papered the world. We have had so many medical lectures, scientific lectures. We have had individual introductions. We have reached out and touched so many people, and yet they can still look at and go, I know I'm really sick, but I think I know better. I'm going to do this. And it's like, okay, because their apple can only be ripe at a certain time. Every single person has to have their own experiences. So even though I know this worked for me and I get healthier all the time now, and health is just health, and it's like my body is doing things that it did now, like when it was 12 or even 6 at the point, in flexibility and strength it's the idea that if everybody has their own right time and if everybody is doing what they need to do, it's about each person convincing themselves of what truly is true and who they truly are. And I know I've had the experience, I'm saying, look, just do this, just move through that fear, do that, I can tell you it'll work. Until someone's ready to do that themselves, until they're truly ready to take that step, it's their choice. That's what freedom is. So we can wave the signpost, and I can say, this is the way to health, or this is the way, and there can be other people just going like this. No, that's not my journey, because everybody has a different journey, and everybody is in the right place at the right time for this grand, huge global transformation as we're awakening, as we're moving from what's considered 3D to 5D. Now, people have been living in 5D since almost the beginning of time, yet the masses haven't been. So the concept of being awake is really recognizing that everything is happening perfectly, that you can see everything is in unity, everything is working always. If you've got that vibe and if you're connected to that broadcast, if you're still in the consensus reality that sees duality, right and wrong, you're blaming other people, you're looking at other people to make your life easier, then you're still at that point. And I can say all I want to say, and I've been saying a lot of this stuff consistently for at least 4 years online. You can go back and listen to things I said in 2017. The message that I've been speaking has barely shifted, because that broadcast of health is natural, health is a vibe, health is something you tune into. And in the process, once you commit to that, you're letting go and releasing, and you're moving closer to what your journey is. And in that process, you're having your own experiences to convince yourself of what's true. So sometimes part of that experience that I've discovered with people is, and I've done it myself, is I like, okay, yeah, I think I've got it now. I feel like I'm in a new space of health, so there's can't be better health. And then I might, or they might, go off on their merry little way and do some of their old habits. And as I say to the people that I work with, it's just for you to have that experience to see, how is that working for you now? You have full conscious awareness now that you're in a different space, but you're going back to some of your old habits. And now you're seeing, oh, did those work? No. So whenever any of us make anything mean something, each of us has made that meaning, and that is our belief. And in belief is the word lie, because every time we label something, every time we say we know something, we are, in a sense, limiting source, consciousness, creator, this whole cosmic consciousness. So I can share in this moment in time what's coming through me and what I feel like, spread it out there, because that's the broadcast I'm creating, that everybody is experiencing what they need to experience in order for them to know totally and completely within themselves who they are. The joy, health, peace, love, wealth, freedom just is. And it's only the thoughts and the broadcasts you're listening to, the radio stations you're turning into, the social media posts you're reading, the consensus reality that you have jumped into, that you have your own little group or a big group, and your consensus is this is what's going down. Everybody has one of those experiences, and in the process, we're recognizing and awakening that every individual is the center of their own universe. Everybody's having their own video game, right? Everyone's a different sort of leveling up. Some are taking shortcuts. Some are trying to buy off points, and everybody's having what they need to have based on this multi-dimensional circular universe. And for those that truly want freedom in all areas of their life, right? Joy, health, peace, love, wealth. In moving away from this paper fictitious system that we think is real, that's a delusion, the facade, the consensus reality, into existing and being and going with the flow and trusting your inner guidance. You can always grab my book, Trusting Your Intuition, Discover Your Superpower in 10 Days. It's really kind of like 10 steps because it is each step is a process, but never in the exact same manner. That's like everybody's journey is in a different way, never in the exact same manner, because source, creator, consciousness wanted to have multiple experiences. So it's like the sun rays and the uniqueness all across the planet, the different vegetation, the different places in the world. We're uncovering things like, all the graves that we knew existed, all the bodies that we knew existed of the children from our native, our original people here, that the people of our government in Canada have, and the church of the Catholic Church, or whatever, all those are individuals that were responsible, yet they're not even here. Yet what each of us does now in that unearthing of our consensus reality is what's shifting up in a big way. Soon we'll discover even more things that we thought were, history has changed. History is, again, about consensus reality. And as each of us gets present, you'll discover what brings you relief. And if it is, I've got my 2 shots and you feel relief, that's your experience. And I know that anything can be healed. I know in source consciousness, anything is possible. Creator, anything is possible. Man can do their best to technologically do whatever. But in the scope of possibilities, anything is possible. That's the land I live in. That's the universe I am in, universe, because we're all playing our notes, and we're creating this great, big, wonderful universe. And when we're in universe, and we really recognize that each of us is in this, and we're doing this lovely dance, then you see that everything is happening perfectly, and everybody is on the journey to their best whole new world, their heart's desires, trusting their inner guidance. It's a magical time. I hope you are embodying it fully and you're letting go like just like those people that are crying when they're getting the vax, the sheer relief of going, oh, now I've got freedom again. Now I can live, I can travel again. And there's others that are going, well, I've always had that, right? Now they're maybe facing some fears or feeling a little limited because of the so-called vaccine passport coming and the digitalization of our lives. Time will tell, right? But let's just keep focused on the awakening and your journey and knowing what brings you closer to being all that you can be and releasing what you don't need to. Just like the tides come in and out, it's a flow, it's a dance. And you can have as much fun or as much misery as you choose because it's your life and it's your experience. And it's happening perfectly for you until you decide that you want a different experience. Then the magic happens in a new way. Lots of love. Enjoy the journey.